the Welsh Revival. Evan Roberts. The Welsh Revival began in a prayer meeting where he had a vision in 1904. In this vision, he saw the nation of Wales being lifted up towards the sky. And he saw a hand come down and touch it. It meant to him that God was about to do something great in his nation. And the Lord told him that he was going to give him 100,000 souls in a very short time. He felt impressed to leave this prayer meeting where he was visiting and go back to his home church. He asked his pastor if he could have a special youth meeting after service. He wanted to share what God was doing in his life. And he wanted to share this with the youth, with the young people in the church. The pastor said, "Of course, you can have a prayer meeting after Sunday morning service. Only a small group of people came." Evan Roberts told what God was doing in his life. Then he began to pray. And the momentum of the revival began to take off. The Spirit of God began to touch a few people that was there. And they broke and began to cry. And they had another meeting that same night and the next day. And little by little, revival began. Just by him sharing what he had saw in this vision. Pretty soon, the whole chapel filled up with people. And the people would stay until 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. When there's a move of God, there will always be unprecedented change. The first amazing thing that began to happen was that all the churches in the nation of Wales began to fill up, even though Evan Roberts wasn't even there in some of those churches. At the height of the revival, this move of God was so powerful until they recorded it in their history books of Wales. At the height of the revival, the prostitutes got saved and turned their houses into singing chapels. When men would visit their houses to be serviced, they would get sung to and invited to the revival. During the height of the revival, the coal miners got saved. The coal miners would have what you call these pit ponies. They would carry the coal loads out of the mine. And they would command the ponies by cursing them. And the ponies would obey. Well, when the revival hit, the miners got saved and quit cussing. And they had a problem. You see, the miners wouldn't curse and the ponies wouldn't move. So they had to buy new ponies, or you can say donkeys, and retrain them. What a move of God it was. During the height of the revival, the business hours changed. They changed them to fit and accommodate the people. The business hours would close 2 and 3 hours early, so the people can go to church. They had to leave early enough to get a seat because of the crowds that will come. During the height of this revival, it interrupted a major sporting event. You see, in America, we have what you call the Super Bowl. Over in Wales, they have what we call American soccer. They call it football. And every year, they have their big tournaments. But the year of the revival, there was no tournament. The history books of the sports record the team that won the year before and the year after. But during the year of the revival, it reads, revival. What a move of God. During the height of the revival, all the political rallies was canceled. People wouldn't go to hear political speeches. They only wanted to go to church. So no one voted that year. And they canceled all the political rallies because they couldn't compete with the revival. My God. During the height of the revival, the sales of Bibles tripled that year. The Bible Society said that they sold 3 times as many Bibles as they did in the history of Bible sales. They couldn't print them fast enough. As soon as they would stock them in the stores, they were sold out. You couldn't find a Bible anywhere, not even in the library. Everybody wanted a Bible. You see, they were hungry for more God. During the height of the revival, the crime rate fell so low until they had to lay off many law enforcement because they said they didn't need them anymore. I once heard that half of the country is looking for an elephant for answers. The other half is looking to a donkey for answers, when we should be looking to the Lamb that was slain before the foundation of the world. We don't need another president. What we need is a move of God. During the height of the revival, the alcohol and drunkenness rate fell so low until many of the establishments was turned into places where they had Bible studies and prayer meetings because they didn't want to drink anymore. During the height of the revival, the banks reported that long-term debts was being paid off. There was supernatural financial increase and supernatural debt cancellation. What a move of God. During the height of the revival, an interview was done by an eyewitness. They asked him, what was the highlight of this move of God? And the thing that he noticed was this. He said, the first thing I noticed was that the joy level was so high. It was amazing. He said that it was just as exciting to go to work in a pit, talking about going to the mines, as it was to go to church. He said that the presence of God could be felt even a mile deep in the ground. What a move of God it was. He noticed that during that time there was no conflicts among the brethren. He said there was only unity. During this great move of God, the people didn't care about material gains. He said they was more focused on their relationship with God. And during this move of God, the people were not sad. They was not depressed. They was not stressed out. They were not tired and exhausted, even though they would stay at church all night and had to go to work the next day. And this went on for 3 years non-stop, every single day, and no one got tired. They said it was like a piece of heaven that had came down to the earth. Remind me of the scripture that says, pray that the will of God will be done on earth as it is in heaven. It was said that the effect of this revival could be felt by the worstest of sinners. He said that they was afraid to come out of their homes. He talked about a man that before this move of God, everybody was afraid of him. But during this great move of God, he was afraid of everybody. I heard about an old man that broke down and cried and said, why did you not tell me that it was this good? Why did y'all not tell me about this sooner? All my years has been eaten up by the cankerworm when I could have been living for God. Why did you not tell me about this sooner?